Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Abraham, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 6. George, what did you think?
Spider-Man 6. Well, you have more than just a passing familiarity with this character, so I would think that you would have more of a... I mean, I'm there to be entertained. Mm-hmm. I absolutely thought it was longer than it needed to be, as these films often are. Mm-hmm. Looked great. I like the kid.
I heard it was actually the shortest Marvel Studios film. I read that somewhere. I don't know if it's true or not. Here's the thing: is I do think they got the tone right. Like it had the high school thing. Like when you're watching the scenes of them in high school, it felt like it could have been like a John Hughes teen comedy. Yeah. But I did feel like the beginning of the movie was all over the place. Like they jump in with a subplot about Vulture that picks up where Avengers left off. Then they jump 8 years later. Then they jump to Tony Stark, and it's like trying to cram in way too many connections to the other Marvel films. And then it got better as the movie went along, and I think the third act was the best part of the movie. There's a little twist that I won't give away, but when that twist happens, it really fixes the ending of the movie. Right?
And as a Spider-Man fan, some of the twists in it, which I still didn't see them coming, I afterwards was like, oh, they do that kind of stuff in Spider-Man all the time.
Exactly.
So it was nice to give me the suspension of disbelief in being entertained. Again, I was there to be entertained, and I was.
I enjoyed it more than those Tobey Maguire movies. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Oh, 110%.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but...
Not sorry.
Not sorry at all. I hate Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I hated him so much. He sucked so much.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man.
Do you know? I mean, you have a Spider-Man shirt, so you must be a fan.
Yeah, I've been a fan since the 90s, actually.
Ooh. Way back
I watched,
when in the 90s.
I know.
Have you seen a lot of Spider-Man before? Have you read any of it?
I've seen like 3 movies. It was really good. I like first one is my favorite.
Oh,
yeah.
So this one didn't steal your heart. It didn't...
this one's a totally new story. Yeah. Like, I just take this as a very, very new Spider-Man story. It was kind of cool. It's like, teenager story.
I was hoping to have as much fun as I did with him in Civil War. Like, I found him very fun and very silly in Civil War. And this film, there was just so many good jokes. Like, I laughed a lot in this film.
What about the Vulture? I always thought the Vulture was, I don't want to say a pathetic character, but lame.
He's one of the really early ones, so he's kind of showing his age. They've modernized him really, though. He's like metal kind of a suit.
Did you like this interpretation of him? Or?
Yeah, he was very well developed, I thought.
It was pretty.
Yeah, awesome.
I really liked Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Keaton's hard. Yeah, it's hard not to like Michael Keaton.
He's a great actor. His character, a lot of people complain about Marvel villains are usually underdeveloped. He was a good character. He had a clear motivation. He was good throughout, right?
Absolutely.
I really, really like this rendition of the Vulture because he's not an old dude obsessed with birds, which is really boring, and they made him a scrapper. Brilliant.
Who teams up with the Tinkerer to build instruments to kill people,
and they were
like create crime or whatever.
And they were so dorky, and it was so comic booky. Yeah. Them all together in their villain lair, like, oh, I thought this was the gravity gun. Lol, it's the gun that kills people, I guess. But did you find that he was still menacing?
He was still menacing. When he was in that costume, it was frightening. And you got a couple point of view shots from Spider-Man when the Vulture was coming at him.
It was one of the first villains that was actually, like, you got a full story with him, which was really cool.
He has a family, and he's doing it for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was kind of like, oh, the man's getting me down. But, I mean, still, that happens all the time, right?
I like the idea that it was like a vulture, so the vulture was like, picking scraps and that sort of thing. Did you find the bad guy believable, or?
Kind of believable. It's a little bit dark, but it's good. It's good for teenager. Yeah, they can take it. Yeah.
There was nothing genuine about the Sam Raimi ones to me, but like this movie, he goes to a public school in New York, and it looks like he goes to a public school in New York because, oh my God, not every kid in that school was white. It was
awesome.
Really
nice. It was really nice, actually, how much everywhere. I was like, oh, wow, it's a normal-looking world for once. And the hot girl wasn't a typical blonde white chick walking around.
She was just a hot chick. You can still be a hot chick and not be white.
What did you think of the whole look? Like, was it bright enough? Was it Spider-Man enough? Because sometimes they take these things like the Vulture too dark, but...
Too dark. No. This one's like very, very high school. Very, very good. Like the style I really love too.
We've had darker Spider-Mans before, and they go really dark, and then, not to say those movies haven't been bad, but Tom Holland has seemed more upbeat and more funny.
I really liked Liz. I thought she was a great actress. I'm glad that they brought in a different love interest. I liked the character Michelle. I thought she might have been the best character in the movie because she was the only one that felt really like she wasn't pretending. She actually was that cool and that funny, I thought.
Yeah, and it was a surprise to have that many supporting teen characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they never really gave us that in the other Spider-Man films where, like, yeah, I know he's supposed to be a teenager and he's supposed to be going through those tough teenage times.
Yeah.
But without anyone to mirror that with him, it just always fell flat. So it was nice to see, maybe it was a little forced, but it was nice to see classmates, I guess.
There was something there that was very real about this Spider-Man, like the fact that he would shoot his spider, like his web, and there'd be no buildings there, and he had to run.
Yes, that was awesome.
It's like, in order to get from the suburbs back to the city where there's high buildings he can swing from, he has to steal a car. Like, that kind of thing made it more believable to me. Like, sure, I said it before that I didn't like Sam Raimi's. I like them, but this just felt more human to me.
I want to see more of this, and this is exactly what it gave me. And he was like goofy, like a super, like kind of a noob Spider-Man. And he was kind of fumbling his way through the entire like first half of that movie. It was,
which I thought was great.
Yeah,
like, that's
it was
what you
very
want out of your
entertaining.
Spidey.
It felt very natural, all of the people like in it.
Yeah, I like the way they tied everybody in, and I thought, I didn't think there was a lot of Iron Man, but I didn't think it was too much.
No, I did not think it was too much at all, and I was surprised of how much different Iron Man played as a role. Like, it wasn't all comic relief on Iron Man. He actually got serious at points.
Yeah, this dude is pretty cool. Like, when you see the trailer, it's like, ooh, it's a teenager. He's a teenager, and he's doing like a lot of moving muscles. Very cool. I mean, yeah, totally like fresh my mind.
When I saw that there was 6 screenwriters for this film, I wasn't surprised, and I could feel the 6 screenwriters' styles clashing, but I'm sure that I'll be the only dissenting voice tonight. I'm sure that everyone else liked it. I just thought it tried a little bit too hard, and I'm not really convinced that Tom Holland is the right choice for Spider-Man. Sorry.
I can only agree with the fact that as part of like actual criticism was it did drag on too long, and maybe that was your 6 writers. I mean, 6 writers worked so well in the Flintstones movie. I don't know why it didn't work well on this one.
I like how all the cross advertising that they pumped into this movie. Like, they were pumping out like the guy from Community. He's gonna be in Star Wars. He's in that movie. You had all these characters, the toys, everything. Like, and I'm like, it's just all a big train of advertisement.
Were you at least happily surprised by this, or was it just another like, oh my God, Batman's parents were killed? Like,
no, they actually didn't go over that again in this one. We didn't have to see Uncle Ben die again. Is that a spoiler? Is that too much?
And the big question, I'm sure, on everyone's mind: what'd you think of the Shocker?
The Shocker. The Shocker was kind of random. We got 2 Shockers.
Let's talk about that Shocker, shall we? I'm sorry. That's like the worst name for a supervillain. Is that his real name?
I love the Shocker. Yes, that's his real name. Of course, that's his real name.
I love the Shocker. I love both iterations of the Shocker.
I also found like his friend Ned. I was really surprised on how like funny that kid was during the film. Like, he made me laugh like almost every time he was on screen.
And I just love Ned, and I loved his scene so much, and I just love when, not to spoil, when his like what his dream of the team what finally came true, and he's just like super happy and spinning in that chair, and I was just like, how are you taking this whole movie over? Like, I love, like, anytime he was on the camera, I just loved him. He was awesome.
The best part, I think, is the beginning, like the Civil War, because I was watching the Civil War in China, and they cut some parts because it's too violent, and they cut it. That sucks. So yeah, and like totally like flashback. I was like, awesome. Nice. Oh yes, and actually first version is coolest. Like, you literally take the camera. It's like, hey dude, I'm on fire. Like, woo.
Also, what did you guys think about Captain America?
I loved it because I hate Captain America. So the fact that he was like that annoying character, I was like, exactly. Like, I just love that he was like, you have a detention and I'm perfect and I'm going to teach you about it. I was like, exactly, you're such a nerd. I don't love you.
And they even pointed out, they're like, this guy's a war criminal now, but He's Captain America.
We have these videos and we're stuck with them.
My favorite scene in the movie was when Peter was bawling, being crushed to death, and he cried. And I'm like, oh no, man, Tom Holland, you get me. Like, the fact that this teenage boy was so emotional and was just such a teenage boy. He cried, and I felt it, and I felt the pain. And then he sees his reflection, and he's like, Spider-Man. I'm like, yeah, you're Spider-Man.
Yeah, if I don't Spider-Man out of this, I'm dead.
So what was your favorite scene?
I'm still going to go with the Donald Glover. Questioning his interrogation like tactics.
Would you recommend this film?
Absolutely, yeah.
I seriously thought it was my favorite one. I need to cool off and simmer on it a bit, though. But I was, at the end of that movie, I was ecstatic. I love my time with it.
So I would assume you'd recommend the film.
Yes, for sure.
Definitely gonna recommend this because it's funny. It's very cool. And as Captain America said, be patient. Wait till the end.
So are we going to recommend this movie?
Yes.
Yes, very much so.
Definitely. If you like Spider-Man, if you like superheroes, if you like coming-of-age stories, if you like fun.
If you like Dawson's Creek.
If you like Dawson's Creek. Do you like Teen Wolf? You'll like this movie.
I don't even know if I can recommend this film. I still think Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films are untouchable so far, from what I've seen.
All right. Well then,
All right.
that's Michael's opinion.